Back to the trunk area, and the trunk lid fit. Here's something I discovered I wasn't quite aware of. Get that dirt off of there. This quarter, I got this car, this was bumped right here. Not very bad. There's a dent in here. You can see where he pounded it out. And we did some measuring, and there was a little kink on the quarter panel above the wheel well. And I took it to a body shop friend of mine because I told him, I said, I don't want this thing beat out, I want it pulled. So they put it on the rack, and they actually grabbed from this area, and I'm not sure where else they grabbed from, but he pulled it and hammered it, got the kink out. But I did not know that he put so much Bondo in here. There's a lot of body filler right here. I thought it was lead under there, because that's what was on the other side. So I'm in the process, and it was cracked from here to here. So the Bondo had cracked, so the metal must have separated or something under there. So I have to get all that body filler out of there and see what's going on. I may have to weld that up. I may even have to put some lead in there. Here we go again. Well, here's what we got. Back when I first got this car, I mentioned that this corner was damaged a little bit. It was not going to be a frame-off restoration. It was going to be a cosmetic, mechanical repair driver. And I took it and had this thing repaired. So when I had the body off on the rotisserie and had it sandblasted, this whole area from the middle of the trunk around this quarter panel was not sandblasted, so I didn't know what was underneath. Now I do have photos of what he did on the side here, and he does have a skim of Bondo on that side, but it wasn't very bad. It was just a little, it was kind of like a oil can type effect. It was popping out, popping in. So when we put it on the frame rack and pulled it, he tapped that out and put a skim on that. But this, I'm very disappointed. For one thing, it's got a hairline crack down the middle where the lead originally was, so he took all the lead out. And that dark spot there, that is rust that he never got out. And it's, I would say there was, at that point, there was over a 1/4 inch of filler in this area. And I went as far as the filler stopped here. In both spots, the filler's a little skim there. But all this area originally for the factory was leaded, and there's actually a little brass in there too. I used my MAP gas torch just to warm this up a little bit to see any more traces of lead, and I got the lead out of there. And then I used my little portable sandblaster with the recovery bag and cleaned that groove, because this is basically cracked from here down to here. There's a hairline crack, and there's a hole there. There's a big hole there, and there's a hole there that was never welded shut. It was just covered with Bondo or filler. So I got my work cut out for me. I'm going to start welding, take my time, get these holes filled up, get that filled up. Well, here we are. I got the holes and cracks welded up. And I used a stainless steel brush and some acid to clean all the nooks and crannies. And I'm not going to try to make this perfect with lead. My goal is to seal the welded seam with lead and the big low spots. And then skim of Bondo will take care of the rest. So that's what I'm going to attempt right now. I got the lead on here. I'm using my little paddles, trying to smooth it out. I've never done this before, so this is a new experience for me. It looks pretty bad right now. I don't know if I'm doing it right or not. But I'm just kind of warming it up and smoothing it out with this paddle. Very difficult to add anything. Hats off to those guys who used to do this all the time. I really don't know what I'm doing. I actually think I made it a lot worse. Boy, there's just a few degrees between working temperature and all falling on the floor. I didn't really achieve what I wanted to there. I'm going to try adding some more yet. Yeah, I'm going to quit until I stir it up even more. Well, I wiped some of the residue off. It's not pretty at all, but like I say, I've never done this before. So now I'm going to take my file to it and see if I can smooth that out a little bit. This is actual lead, so you don't want to be breathing this in. You want to wear your gloves, respirator, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to start getting this file down. Here's where I ended up. I got it leaded in. I also found a hairline crack in the Bondo up here. There's another seam in the body here, and it was kind of open right there. So I ground all the body putty out, I tinned it, and I put a little more lead in that area because apparently the Bondo was covering up some cracks in the lead, so can't have that because the Bondo cracked. So basically I'm done with the leading and a little bit more filing to do up there, and it's going to be cleaned really good. I might run a wire wheel over it to get all the nooks and crannies, and I'm probably going to let this sit a while, and then I'm going to put some epoxy primer on it, and then we'll start putting the skim coat of body filler on it, and hopefully we can get this thing back looking decent again.